Well, the first idea was actually not the double life. The first idea was the movement. The first image that I got in my mind was a woman in a train going from places to places, back and forth, a woman constantly on the move, constantly going places. That was the first image. And then it became going from one home to another home and not just places. And then it became lying about it. That's how the whole thing came together. And then, of course, I was interested by the fact that we usually see double lives for men. It's very common in life, it's very common in movies, but it's absolutely rare, not to say it never happened in movies before. So I thought that was interesting to see that from a woman's point. Well, the script was it was a very long process, to say the least. It was very, very long to get it come together because it was a lot of it had to be very mechanical. It has to be really, really, really precise. And I actually enjoy writing a lot. I write a lot. I write pretty easily, not to say it's good. I don't know if it's good, but it's easy for me to write. But this one was really, really, really difficult to write because it's all about revelations. It's like you start from Z and end at point A. It's different. It's like a backwards movie. So it was very difficult to pull it off. But it was also very exciting that it was a new way of thinking for me. It was a new architecture for the script, and. To me, what was difficult, it suddenly became simple when I thought, okay, one scene, one info, not 2, not 12, not 20 info, just one info, just to make it so that it's always progressing, that it's always new, but not too new, not too much to take at one point. So, and at first it was not about a thriller. Really, it was more like a family drama. I was very influenced by Kramer versus Kramer, you know, the old film with Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman. I love this movie. And so it was very much about family drama. But then when you lie, people who lie to that dimension of lying, it's very scary. I mean, your life is always scary. You always have to be you have to be ready for things to happen. You don't want to come across this person because this person knows something about your other life, and it's a whole architecture of lies that's in your head, and it's like they're always on damage control, you know, when you lie to that kind of point of lying. So that made it a thriller as I was writing. And then I thought, oh, that's interesting that it's becoming thrilling. But it was not the first idea. I mean, how can Vertigo not be in your thoughts? Because it's one of the best movies ever made. I love this movie completely. But it wasn't in my mind for this film, because in Vertigo, even though she's a double woman, she's a victim. And I didn't want my character to be a victim. I wanted this person to be a woman who she's just doing what she wants to do. And it just happens to be really difficult, being a wife, being a mother, being etc., etc. So it's difficult, and that's why it became a thriller. But I didn't want her to be the victim of men. She's her own person, she's her own character, and she's driving the car. And there's a lot of bumps on the road, but she's driving it, and that's what I liked about it. And also in Hitchcock, she's very different. She's a blonde, she's a brunette, she's sexy, she's more natural. She's really like two faces of a coin. My character isn't. She's the same woman. I really wanted her to be the same woman. It's just that the lives are different, not the character, and that's why we never actually worked on a Vertigo basis with Virginie. I didn't want her hair to be different, I didn't want her clothes to be different, I just wanted her to be the same. The lives are different. So the inspiration was maybe more like, I don't know if you know this old movie called Cat People by Jacques Tourneur. You know, it's a black and white movie, and there's nothing like it's a monster movie, Cat People, but it's also a movie about a woman who's very likable. You know, she's not scary at all. She's not at all the femme fatale type of woman. She's very beautiful, but friendly, nice. You love her. But then she's a monster, you know, like in Cat People. And mine is not a monster, but she's, like you said, very complex. And sometimes you question her decisions and you're like, oh, I don't know if this is going the right way. So that was more of an inspiration rather than Hitchcock. But Hitchcock, he's always on everybody's mind, so. Well, during the writing process, I had nobody in mind. It was just so incredibly difficult to write the script. But then, when I, maybe a year before shooting and the last drafts of the script, I started to think about who could be the protagonist. And we have a lot of great actresses in France, and I had a very wide choice, but then I thought of Virginie because she has this incredible quality that she's like a sun, you know, she's bright, meaning she's smart, but also she's bright as a light, you know, you like her, she's instantly likable, you love her, you follow her wherever she goes, and I needed that because had she been darker, then she would feel more like maybe like a crazy person, or you would think, oh, this is dark. Or I knew that Virginie would keep it really bright, you know, bright, like smart, but also shiny. That you would be with her, that you would like her all the way, even though, like I said, you sometimes really question her decisions. But I knew that you would never lose her. You would always be going where she's going, even though you're like, oh, this is, you know, and also she's a wonderful, wonderful actress. She's extremely powerful, extremely intense, and suddenly completely adorable. You know, she has that, so that's great. Two things. For the colors and the tones and the set decorations and stuff like that, I was very influenced, like I said, by Kramer versus Kramer, the Dustin Hoffman movie. The image was done at the time by Nestor Almandros, who's an incredible DP, and I loved the tones, the colors of the fall in New York, and so I was very influenced by that, even though mine is in France and in Switzerland, but that was a big influence on the film. And in terms more of like framing, and I knew that I absolutely didn't want like handheld camera or stuff like that. I really wanted it to be very classical, very neat, because to me that's the way I, as a director, defend who she is. I want it to be really stable. Like what she does in the film is she's always defending something that's not defendable, you know, and I wanted my part as a filmmaker to defend who she is. I know she's sometimes very wrong. She's doing things that are not, you know, common, but I really wanted to be on her side. And to me, the handheld camera is not on her side. The handheld camera would be on the side of maybe craziness or maybe something. I wanted the frame of the film to be very classical. That's also an influence of Cat People, the movie I mentioned before, the Jacques Tourneur movie. It's a monster movie, but it's very bourgeois. It's very classical. The only thing that is wild is the one thing you can't see. It's inside the protagonist. I didn't want the filmmaking, the technical aspect to be wild. The only wildness is inside, and it's for you to go and see it or feel it, but that's why.